Look at this storm of paperwork. Invoices, tax forms, and bank statements colliding mid-air before they morph into a rigid digital grid. This is the modern office nightmare. Specifically, it's the accounting department's holy trinity, the relentless manual grind of reconciling PDF email attachments, XML tax records, and CSV bank exports. Human brains aren't built to read a messy PDF invoice on screen 1, cross-reference it with a massive CSV spreadsheet on screen 2, and validate an XML tax code on screen 3. Doing this hundreds of times a day leads to mistakes and severe employee burnout. Naturally, people assume the fix is dropping all that raw data into a single AI chatbot and asking for a summary, but that rarely works. Faced with that much conflicting multi-format data, a standalone large language model gets overwhelmed. It either hallucinates fake numbers or freezes completely under the complexity. Solving complex enterprise workflows doesn't take one giant digital brain. It takes a coordinated network of hyper-specialized digital workers, each focused on a single, narrow task. Accepting those boundaries is the first step. Once you stop trying to force a chatbot to do everything, you can build automation that actually functions in a professional environment. Enter the Brunella Agent System. Instead of a traditional software application, Brunella operates as a digital hierarchy, an organized workforce made up of over 58 specialized microagents. Raw data hits the orchestrator agent, splitting into 3 streams. An email agent extracts PDF invoices, a nav agent pulls XML records, and a bank agent parses CSVs. These converge at the matching agent, cross-referencing data with built-in tolerance thresholds to successfully link messy records. By slicing the workflow into tiny, manageable pieces, no single agent suffers cognitive overload. The swarm achieves zero-error precision on tasks that would instantly break a standalone AI. But the real world is unpredictable. What happens to the swarm when an API endpoint breaks, a website changes its layout, or a network connection drops mid-task? In traditional software design, an unexpected error usually triggers a hard crash. Everything stops, an alert goes out, and a human engineer has to manually investigate and restart the workflow from scratch. This architecture, showing the Bifrost Gateway, highlights the Phoenix Protocol, Brunella's self-healing mechanism. Before acting, the system saves its state. If the primary AI fails, it automatically rewinds to that checkpoint and reroutes the task to a fallback model to finish the job. True software autonomy doesn't mean errors never happen. It means the system organically recovers from its own failures, entirely behind the scenes, without ever waking up a human operator. When the human workday ends, the Brunella system doesn't shut down. Instead, it shifts modes, initiating its nightly learning cycle. During this period, the system audits its own operational logs. It analyzes which prompt chains succeeded, which API calls timed out, and where the swarm wasted processing time. It extracts the lessons from those interactions, synthesizes them into new, repeatable actions called instincts, and indexes them directly into a local vector database. The next time a similar task arrives, the swarm retrieves that memory instantly. This feedback loop creates software that is actively anti-fragile. With every passing operational cycle, the system gets tangibly faster, more accurate, and more efficient. Back in the accounting department, the results are clear. The chaotic piles of PDFs and XMLs are perfectly reconciled and silently synced into a clean, unified spreadsheet. The human accountant only receives a brief exception report highlighting the few oddities that genuinely need their attention. This requires a new approach to the modern workplace. We have to stop treating artificial intelligence as a passive tool that requires constant micromanagement and start treating it as a proactive, autonomous partner. By offloading the robotic, repetitive data entry to a digital swarm, human employees are freed from the grind. They elevate from data typists to strategic decision makers. By integrating a self-healing, multi-agent network, companies don't replace their workforce. They grant every employee a 10x productivity multiplier, setting a standard for speed and accuracy that manual systems cannot reach.